Hey, I'm Marco Keach. Today I'm here with Terri Small. She's another amazing member of Precision Pilates, and decided to hop on the line with her because I wanted to find out what her experience has been like over there. I also wanted to find out the benefits that she's seen and have her just fill in kind of the details and experience that you can expect if you were to decide to walk in there. So, Terri, thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You're welcome.
All right, so let's step back. We were talking before we recorded that you've been there now for maybe 8 months or so.
hmm
What was it that led you there? Like, what was the challenge or struggle that maybe said, "All right, I got to try something different," or and this is what led me there.
I was having like a lot of issues with pain. I've been working out for a long time, and I've been doing like boot camp, CrossFit type, and I was really looking for something a little more different, where I wasn't hurting myself all the time. So I wanted to give Pilates a try
Okay.
for a long time, and I saw she had an ad on Facebook, and I kind of responded to it, and I took it from there.
Okay. And so you saw that, you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna just try something different. You said, what the heck, let's just give it a go and see what happens.
hmm
Okay.
Yes.
Were you nervous?
Uh, no,
No?
no, because it seemed like she had like a lot of good testimonials. I had researched her a little bit, so I wasn't really nervous.
Okay. So you go in there, kind of fill me in a little bit once you get in, you kind of get settled in. What the atmosphere is like, the experience, like what can someone expect when they go in and start working and training there?
Before I even started training with her, I kind of met with her, and we went over. She did, she did a whole bunch of questions and went over like all my health, anything health benefits, any kind of issues that I was having. So I spent like a good half hour with her, and then the next session we worked out.
Okay, and as you
A
go
different
along and
thing.
you start going through that workout stuff, kind of what's the vibe like? So if someone were walking, like what can they expect the training to be like? What's it like being around other people? What's that feeling all like?
It almost feels like a family. Like everybody kind of knows each other. We're almost like basically the same. It's weird. Not weird. Like well, it's just it's all women, and it's just very comfortable. It's a very comfortable atmosphere.
Yeah, there's no threats. It's not like, but sometimes obviously people know who are into Pilates, they know that, but they may not. So it's not like someone sitting there with like a megaphone screaming and yelling or doing anything like
No,
that.
no,
Yeah.
no, not at all. And whatever you don't, like I said, she's very good and she's there with you every step of the way. If you don't know what, like certain positions, or she shows you and she guides you through everything.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask, because sometimes someone come in, they may have some problems or issues or pain. So there's
hmm
modifications, there's different ways to
Yeah.
kind of work through that.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. She always provides modifications. Always.
Okay. And with the other people in there, like you said, it's kind of like a family. So maybe it's not just specifically, and correct me if I'm wrong, support from her, but you're also kind of getting that support from the group and others as well.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because some of the other members have been with her for a while, so like I said, it's like almost like a family atmosphere.
And is it welcoming like the first time you walk in? Obviously, right? It's a little you don't know everybody, but are they pretty warm and open in terms of welcoming and
Yes.
bringing you in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you've
Yeah.
got this little family atmosphere. You've got this energy, this vibe, this little community that kind of helps you through that. So that's a big reason, I'm guessing, right? That's kept you there for the time that
Yeah.
you've been there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your favorite thing about that? Is it the family style? What is it about the atmosphere that's your favorite thing?
Um, I would say like Amy. She just makes it very comfortable. It's not intimidating. Sometimes if I've taken other like yoga, Pilates classes, and it's a little intimidating, but she doesn't make you feel at ease. She makes you always feel at ease.
And that's the biggest difference from the other classes that you've
hmm
done. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
So that's a big element of it. But the other side is, right, you had gone in, you were talking about looking to try something a little bit different workouts, there's some pain issues,
hmm
things like that. So let's talk about some of the benefits and results you've seen. So since you've been there, what have you noticed? What types of changes? What types of results?
Um, the most is I have less pain in my hips because a lot of the Pilates we do a lot of hip work, and I've noticed that helped a lot with my arthritis. And even with my core and my lower back, I don't really have that many issues anymore. But
Yeah.
that's the main thing actually that's helped me.
Okay, and obviously there's a difference in training styles, right, from what you've seen before. So there's going
Yeah.
to be a different
Yes.
sort of results. Have you noticed a difference in maybe the way that you're, besides the pain, but how that's helping you feel maybe emotionally or mentally because of that type of training that you're doing?
Yeah, it's probably some mentally, because a lot of times you have to focus on your breathing, and I think that has also helped me a lot.
Okay. All right. And a lot of times in part of this, though, for the physical pain that comes along and the alleviation of some of that, right? there is a sort of a transformation or a lifestyle transformation. You start to approach maybe exercising differently or see things or food or anything. Have you noticed anything along those lines, like a mindset component of things that have shifted in you during this time?
I would probably have to say I'm not pushing myself. Like I'm pushing myself, but not in a way where I feel like I'm hurting myself. Like like I said, I was taking the boot camp and doing all those other classes, and it would take me days to recover from it. Like, and from this, I still feel like I'm working out, but it's not taking me forever to recover from it.
Do you
like
feel
I see a difference, but it's good.
so well, that actually makes me think of this question. Would you say you feel more balanced?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and since you feel that you're not so beat up all the time, how does that improve? Does it help energy levels as well?
Yeah, because I'm able to do other things now. Where when I was doing those other classes that were harder, like I wouldn't be able to, like, simple thing like sometimes I take my dog for a 4 mile walk. I wouldn't even be able to do that. This I feel like I could do other things with this. It
So in a way,
complements other things.
so it's giving you a little bit of freedom in terms of like, okay, I can kind of live my
Yeah,
life a little bit better now.
yeah, absolutely.
How about on maybe stress levels, say like day to day, right, work or something, you get really stressed, or have you noticed now that you're kind of more balanced that it's helped with some of the stress management or balancing some of those?
Yes, because some of the moves, especially like the breathing moves and stuff, I could actually even do at home. Like I could do if there's a time where I can't take her class, I could do it some at home or even at night before I go to bed. I could do some of the exercises.
Okay. And would you go as far as say that it's maybe been transformational or it's transformed any part of you in how you see things or how you notice about fitness or health or nutrition, anything along those lines?
Yeah, I think I'm approaching fitness not as looking at it as I have to work so hard all the time, where it's like it takes me days to recover. Where I could still work, but not have that, well, then, take that too long to recover.
So maybe it's made again, right? Working out is working out. It's tough. You got to put some effort.
Yeah.
But maybe it sounds to me, and again, if I'm wrong, let me know. But maybe it's fun in a way compared to where it was before. You're just getting beat
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I do enjoy it. It is hard. There's some of the moves I still can't do on it. Like Pilates, like Amy explains, it's a practice. Sometimes it takes years to learn certain moves, and it is hard. But I do enjoy it more. I really do. Like I look forward to going to classes at 5:30 in the morning, as crazy as it sounds, and it goes by really fast.
Are you able to do some of the moves and things now that you couldn't do previously?
Some, yeah, some I still need more practice.
Of course, like you said, it takes years, but you're able to. You've
Mhm.
moved along in terms of strength levels. You've noticed there's been a shift there, so you can do some of these.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So you've got this family. You've got the right less pain, which was the big thing, right? You wanted to feel it made you feel
Hmm.
better all around. You're transforming in terms of how you're looking at health and fitness. Now, let's say there's somebody who's in a very similar situation where you were before you hopped on board. Maybe there's some pain, some other sorts of issues. They're thinking about joining, but they're 50-50. They're on the fence. What would you want to tell that person to push them off the fence?
Um, I would definitely tell them to give it a try. It'll put a different outlook on how you work out and how you take care of yourself.
Okay.
That's how I feel now, anyway.
Okay, and then I'll leave it on this. Last question that I've got for you is, since you've had this experience, you're feeling better. It's transformed a lot of different elements for you. Let's say Amy decides to close up shop. She's shutting down as we're talking. She turns off her phone or email, all of those different things. And this is the last time that you could actually say anything to her. Knowing it's the last time, what would you say?
So I'd be upset.
What would you tell her? Would you want to thank her for anything? What would you want to say?
Yeah, I would thank her for being, so kind and patient, and all her help. And I really enjoyed learning with her. And she would be really missed if she did that.
Yeah, for sure. It's had a big impact with what you've done. So,
Mhm.
well, Terri, I think it's been pretty cool. See what you've done, right? The pain has gone away. You're feeling better. You've got this family now that you're working out and being a part of. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on here. And I want to wish you the best
Oh,
of
no
luck in the
problem.
future.